So up is Nano-X.
Oh yeah, I love this company. Okay.
Yeah, you only got 6 minutes.
And I know. And I've got to respond to Olivia because she does not love it like I do. I'm the passionate Nano-X guy.
I can't wait for to ask my questions.
She is Miss Dubious. I'm not going to give you enough time for a question. That's the
strategy.
That's my strategy.
I'll let you start. I'll let you start.
Yeah. No, I'm going to seize all the time. Nano-X is an Israeli company. They were originally started by a bunch of Sony engineers who were working on using nanotechnology for flat screen televisions. So Sony put just a massive amount of money into this, and they ultimately canceled the project because it wasn't cost effective for flat screen TVs. There's other technology out there. But the engineers were really impressed with the technology. This is cold cathode micro nanotechnology, and they thought, well, where can we use this technology where it would be cost effective? And they thought about X-rays, and they're like, oh, that would be awesome. And so they started their own company. They reached out to a Japanese entrepreneur, and he funded them. And they spent several years trying to take this flat screen television technology into X-rays. And that their breakthrough that they had, I mean, for an X-ray machine, for a CAT scan or an MRI, those machines cost about $1 million to $3 million for hospitals. So they're incredibly expensive machines, and it can take a long time for people to get scheduled for an MRI or to get scheduled for a CAT scan. The Nano-X machine, they think they can produce it for $10,000. So it's the difference between $1 million and $10,000. I mean, that's just such an extraordinary difference in price that's really kind of shattered the market, and they've really kind of upturned radiology. I mean, we heard about this stock because a radiologist reached out to Brian Feroldi and said, what do y'all think about this? And we didn't know it. And then we looked into it, and then we got excited. So, I mean, this is a full teaching us about this amazing company. They came, the way it works is, instead of having, typically for an X-ray to run, you have to heat up the machine. That's why they're so big and expensive. 2,000 degrees Celsius, and then you cool it down again. So that heat generation is what it powers the X-ray, and that's the way it's been for over a century. So what Nano-X's technology allows them to do is to keep it cold. There's no need to heat it all the way, and so it's a lot smaller technology. It's like digital. It's like a digital phone as opposed to a much bulkier phone. It's much smaller. It's cheaper. It's easier to make. They've gotten a lot of funding from manufacturers out in Asia, SK Telecom, and the Foxconn guys who make the iPhone. They're very excited that the head of SK Telecom is on the board of Nano-X, and they're going to be the ones manufacturing these phones. The FDA has already, it's not approved. What's the word, Olivia?
Authorized?
No, what is it? What is it? It's
clearance. They gave it clearance.
Yes. It's a special word.
All the FDA words.
Yeah, Corinne yelled at me for using the wrong word in an article one time. So it's clearance. They've got FDA clearance for their single source device, and they're still waiting for FDA clearance on their multi-source device. Their multi-source device will be what competes with the MRI scanners and the CAT scanners. But they've already proven that the technology works. So, all the shorts are saying this is a fraud, this is a crime, this is Theranos. They were all proven wrong. And so what we're waiting on as investors, we're waiting for the multi-source that's going to compete with that's the one they're going to commercialize. And they're also waiting for their cloud. They have a cloud version of it. So all your X-rays are going to be digitized. They're going to be online. You can share them, and doctors are going to subscribe. And the really cool thing about this is Nano-X is not making money on the machines. They're going to sell the machines at cost or even below cost, because they have the whole razor and blades model, and they just want their machine to be ubiquitous, and they're going to get like 40% of the price of every X-ray, which is going to be incredibly cheap, a lot cheaper than existing X-rays, but they're going to make a lot of money on the use of the machines. So that's what's excited me as an investor, because it reminds me of Intuitive Surgical and other med health plays like that. Okay, so go ahead and tell me why I'm wrong.
I won't do that. And it's exciting. It's an exciting idea, right? I every risk averse bone in my body has been worried about this one probably since the IPO and since I started working with you on it. And that's only because the FDA clearances were delayed last year, and now this new clearance for the multi-source machine, I think you mentioned it, Taylor, is delayed. And also the FDA has various types of clearances, and as far as I can recall about Nano-X's first clearance, it wasn't the type of clearance that said that was like this is fancy new tech, brand new technology, and we're going to allow them to roll it out. It was the kind of clearance that said, oh yeah, this technology looks a lot like other existing already approved tech, so we're going to allow it to, we're going to approve it. We're going to give it clearance. That might not be totally correct, but let me know, because I don't exactly remember the scenario. I'm still nervous about it, but.
Well, yeah, their first one, the first time that they applied, they were delayed, and the FDA said we need to see more data, and you need to do this and do that and the other. So they came back and they gave them more data, and then they got it about a month after they got it cleared, and so that's how their single X-ray. So the question is, does it work? Yes. Is it a fraud? No. I mean, that's been answered. But there are plenty of questions about the company, of course. I mean, the question, oh yeah, sorry. The question is how long is it going to take? Like, there've been delays, and part of the reason there've been delays, I think, is the FDA has been swamped with COVID and COVID stuff. And so the FDA is delaying things naturally as part of a process. I think that the FDA needs more time for various things. So I do think the rollout may take longer than the company says, and these things never go quite as you want them to. But I'm extremely bullish on the market opportunity, and I do think that the existing players are probably, and they should be, very nervous because their market is going to be seriously disrupted by this player.